with just over a week to go, we've got our 10th set of fact sheets. And to be fair, there's some beauties on this one. So first up, we've got the International Transstar 2 Eagle and the Brandt H550 Beaver Tail. So the Transstar 2 Eagle, that just looks awesome. I mean, old school American truck. Don't really usually see that sort of thing in the UK, but that just looks awesome. It really is. Obviously, it's going to be under the truck category. 400 horsepower engine, 45 grand, which is nice and cheap. That is all right. I mean, it's coming with a manual gearbox, but to be fair, I play the game with auto turned on all the time anyway, so manual don't really make a difference in that sense, but all right, no worries. 49 mile an hour top speed, and it does look a beauty. It really does. And then obviously we've got on the back of it the Brandt H550 Beaver Tail. Obviously, well, as I say obviously, I mean, it's got it down there that it's going to be under the trailer category, but I've seen things like that in the low loaders. Because, you know, ones that we've had, well, specifically mods, the front part that connects to your actual truck or lorry detaches at the front, and then you back whatever in onto the front of it. So it could be low load, it could be trailer. I mean, time will tell when the game comes out. Now, this is going to cost you 106 grand. So if you've got a big load to be carrying, more specifically like harvesters or that sort of thing, maybe some excavators, obviously you're going to need one of these. And next up, we got the Senebogen 340G. Now, this is a little bit interesting. I mean, we've had the Merlot before, so this is another telehandler, but this looks ace. I mean, we've seen it in one of the videos before where the whole cab rises up. It's a little different. Obviously, it's going to be under the telehandler category. It's got a CVT gearbox, so if you're playing manual, yeah, it's just going to do it itself, or just play auto like I do. It's so much easier. 24 mile an hour top speed, 145 grand to buy, and it's going to have a 136 horsepower engine. But that's ace. I mean, telehandlers, they are the little workhorses of your farm. You know, they're moving stuff around all the time, and it looks interesting with a cab that moves up and down. Then move on to this one, the Homer Terrados 540 and HR6. So obviously, we've had this in the game before, let's face it. It was the go-to for a long time in 22 for doing your sugar beets. You know, it just held a lot more than the pull behinds. Yeah, it's expensive, 685 grand, but if you're doing big style sugar beets, yeah, you're gonna need this, and it's gonna be under your it says harvester category on the FS25. It was under beet technology, but all right, fair enough, we'll see what happens. 652 horsepower engine, 45,000 litre capacity. It's got a top speed of 24 mile an hour, working speed 6 mile an hour, 685 grand. So really, if you're doing big fields of sugar beets, which I probably don't recommend anyway, because that's going to take you forever, you go on something that's, you know, got a fairly decent capacity on the, do you even call it a grain tank? On the beet tank. We'll call it a beet tank anyway. And obviously on the front of that, you're going to need something to get the stuff out the ground. And that's going to be the HR6, also from Homer. Going to be under the header category, 6 mile an hour working speed, 2.7 metre working width. So it's not out the realms of, yeah, you're going to need something a little bigger. Maybe with Chris S and Riley S works their magic like they did in FS22. We'll have to see what comes out with that. But for the time being, for starting off, you're going to have a 2.7 metre working width. It's going to cost you 53.5 grand. And obviously, it's going to be for doing your sugar beets. So if you fancy doing your sugar beets and you've got a big field in mind, yeah, you might need to spend a bit of cash. The last one we got for today is a bit of John Deere. It's one for the John Deere fans, the S7 series and the RDF35. So obviously the S7, you know, we're used to John Deere by now. It's been in the game for quite a while. And the 7 series, I like harvesters with tracks. I think they just look awesome, and this one doesn't disappoint at all. So it's going to have a 547 to 625 horsepower engine, 1,155 litres of fuel, and 74 litres of depth. Now, if diesel exhaust fluid, if you're on console, it's not a thing. That's a PC thing. So I'm just wondering, is that going to be a thing on console when it comes out? I mean, they're listing it here. I mean, they have listed it in fact sheets for FS22, and it didn't turn out to be a console thing. So time will tell on that one as well. I mean, obviously, when the 12 comes around, we'll soon find out. Now, this has got a 14,100 litre capacity on the grain tank. It's going to do usual shenanigans on your old grain croppage. So you've got your usual, you know, you've got your grain types, you've also got your sunflowers and your corn. Also, it's going to do your rice and your peas, which is all right indeed. 381 grand to buy, and it's got a top speed of 24 mile an hour. And obviously, once you've got this on the go, you're going to need a header on the front. So that's where the RDF35 comes in. It's got a 6-mile-an-hour working speed. It's going to cost you 105 grand, 10.7 meter working width. Obviously, that's a lot better than the Homer we've just seen at 2.7. But this is going to be, I'd say, one of the staples. I mean, John Deere fans, yeah, they're going to go for it. But I wouldn't say no. I mean, that looks all right. It's going to do the job, definitely. And it's going to do your usual crops and your peas and your rice as well. Well, your, was it long grain rice? We'll call it dry rice. I'm going to call it dry rice and wet rice. So this is going to do your dry rice as well. So that is awesome. And obviously these are coming out with the game on November the 12th. And if you're on PC and fancy picking yourselves up a digital copy, click on the link down below and it's going to help the channel out at no extra cost to yourself. And just remember, if you do pre-order, whether it's with my link or whether it's just straight up from Xbox or PlayStation or wherever you get your games from, you are going to get the MacDom pack as a bonus, which is awesome. So this is going to be coming out, as I said, on November the 12th for PC, Mac, Xbox Series X and S and PlayStation 5. So if you're on Xbox One like me or PS4, if you're on old gen console, you are going to need a bit of an upgrade.